things have to get worse before they get better. Trump's election victory in November turbo boosted what's going on. One of the Treasury ministers, the Minister for Anti-Corruption, has had to resign for corruption.
Do you think things are changing out there in terms of people's reaction to the various issues that we're facing as a country?
It has, and it's been changing for a good few years, but recently it's speeding up quicker than I thought it would speed up. Some of the conversations that we're having as a nation now, we're having as the West, I can't believe we're having them, because 6 months ago nobody was having them. People like me and you were talking about those issues, but the mainstream press weren't, politicians weren't. Things have changed. It was changing before Trump won the election, but I think Trump's election victory in November turbo boosted what's going on. And the fact he takes power now next week, I think, we'll see another big jump in change then.
Yeah, I mean, I know Trump's across the Atlantic, but I'd like to talk about him later and what you think is happening on there. But I've got one big question I want to ask you, and I'm not sure our viewers will agree with this question. And on reflection, is Kier Starmer the best thing that's ever happened to us in this country in terms of politics?
I've been saying it for a year or two. I was hoping for a Labour victory. I was telling people I wasn't going to vote for Labour. I'm not that sadistic, but I knew Labour was going to win, and I wanted them to win, because I've been saying things have to get worse before they get better. And I think I used that example of when you put a frog in cold water and put it on a cooker. You can heat the frog and boil it alive. If you put a frog in hot water, it jumps out. And that's what was happening to this country. They were slowly boiling us to death, Labour and the Tories, over decades. And suddenly we realised now we're jumping out the water. But yeah, everything's changing, from immigration to the LGB nutcases, to calling people out for paedophilia, for talking about, deportations, mass deportations. Everything's changing. And the fact we've got Kier Starmer and Labour in power, and part of me feels a little bit sorry for them, because they inherited this government inherited all these problems, but agreed with the problem, agreed with why we have it, and have gone one step further. So they are now reaping the whirlwind of this. As we've just come to air, one of the Treasury ministers, the Minister for Anti-Corruption, has had to resign for corruption. You can't make this shit up. Last couple of months ago, he lost his trade minister, the girl with the red hair, blue hair.
I can't remember her name, actually.
I can't remember. Louise Haigh.
Yeah.
She had to resign.
Because she was basically a liar.
And a thief.
No, she was a criminal.
A liar, a thief, and a criminal.
Yeah.
She was.
Yeah.
I predict by Friday afternoon the Chancellor will be gone.
Oh, really? Rachel Reeves?
I think she'll be gone Friday afternoon.
That's interesting. Why Friday afternoon? Just because the pressure was just mounting?
Yes, it's mounting. The press are not letting any of this go, because they smell blood now.
Yeah.
So they're going after all these ministers. And if you want to get rid of a minister with the least amount of press, do it on a Friday afternoon.
Yeah.
Everyone goes off at weekends, come back Monday. It's semi-old news.
Yeah.
So that's why I think it'll be this Friday afternoon. And the anti-corruption minister, I believe, was one of Kier Starmer's closest friends.
Oh, she's called Sadiq, isn't she? Something Sadiq.
Something like that. But they're outside of politics, very close friends.
Yeah.
Really? I believe it was her that got him to stand as an MP.
Tulip Sadiq.
In the area next door to her in North London.
Right, okay.
So they're very close friends. So he's had to let her go. So Rachel Reeves,
that's interesting. So if he's let a close friend go, that means he's capable of doing this thing, or understands it can be done.
Yeah.
So once you cross that Rubicon, then I guess you can do it, can't you?
Yeah. I think he's been great for the UK. He's shown us where they're taking us. He didn't have the skills to lie to us and to use propaganda. He's not a Tony Blair. He's not a David Cameron who are good at lying to your face. He's awful at communication. He's awful at lying. And because of that, it's done us a favour. We've seen through it all. and huge change is coming.